Hey folks, welcome to another Isenhour Speaks Confederate Moment here on another Thursday. We are going to follow up on some of the Second Amendment movement here in Virginia and talk a little bit about that. I think this is something that is, no question about this is making history. Of course, on the other hand, we also have to start realizing what we're actually doing. Yeah, see, there's work to this. This is not just showing up and, confronting your county commissioners. There's more to it than that. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But some of the things I want to get to is just this, the educational aspect of what we're actually doing. Legally speaking, we call this the Second Amendment sanctuary counties movement. But we act like the federal government has done something. The federal government hasn't done anything. They haven't tried to pass any anti-gun laws, at least not right this moment. What's happening is the governor and the state legislature, the Democrats, are trying to do stuff. But what they are doing is unconstitutional. But here's the pick. It's unconstitutional in the Virginia Constitution. So this is a Virginia state issue. So we're not trying to get the federal government to not do something. We're trying to say to the Virginia legislators, Democrats, and the governor that you've got to follow our Virginia Constitution. And that's very important to mind because this thing won't work without that. We've got to focus on the Virginia Constitution, which actually is, I think, even stronger Bill of Rights than what the United States Constitution has. That's just my opinion. But the Virginia Constitution also has a Bill of Rights, same as the Virginia Constitution has a Bill of Rights, the same as the U.S. In fact, it actually was written before the U.S. And it has a very strong article, one of the line 13, that talks about the citizens are allowed to have a militia and to form up, and they are allowed to have guns and this type of stuff. And this is what the governor is violating. So our fight is not against the federal government. Our fight is against the Virginia legislature breaking their own laws. Now, here's the challenge with it. It's not a federal matter. Technically speaking, okay, now folks, follow me here. This is going to be a little mind-blowing for you. Technically speaking, the counties and the cities in Virginia, they are not sovereign. The state of Virginia is the sovereign. Okay? It's one of the original 13 colonies. It's a sovereign state. That's federalism. But the cities and counties were created by the state of Virginia. So technically speaking, the governor could literally have the legislature, and with these Democrats in office, anything's possible, trust me. They literally could dissolve every county and city in the state. They would say, we're just taking away your charter to be a county. We're taking away your charter to be in a city. They could actually do that. And put it by these crazy people, whatever. We'll see what that happens. But so technically speaking, the governor feels that you either obey the law, or I'm going to, have the National Guard or the state police come kick your doors in and take your guns. And there's nothing you can do about it. We'll arrest the sheriff on the way. So legally speaking, they have a point because the counties are not sovereign. Only the state is sovereign. See, there's a little bit of difference there. And this is one of the things I want y'all to start putting into your minds and be educated about this. On Isenhour Speaks, on the page right now, you can go down, a page down to a gentleman by the name of Brian McClanahan. He's a professor who's actually out of South Carolina, has a great video series on the American Constitution and all types of things. I won't go into that. But he has this section, he just did about a 31-minute video that's on my page that you can go to that explains what I'm talking about, how the sovereign the sovereign state can dissolve the counties and stuff. So our fight is not really with the federal government's Second Amendment because they're not trying to do anything right now. It's the state of Virginia trying to do it. But they're breaking the Virginia Constitution. That's what he was trying to point out to us. We're misnaming this. It's not the Second Amendment sanctuary necessarily. It's that we are facing our elected officials in Richmond are saying that they're going to violate the Virginia Constitution. And that's what he's trying to point out. And if you'll go down and spend 35 minutes and watch that video, you'll be very impressed. It will kind of put into perspective what I'm talking about. Now, having said that, I want to go to there's another page down on the Isenhour Speaks. It's on there right now. And it's talking about stupid people. And I think it's this other thing, the Democratic Party is controlled 100% by stupid people. And I have in there a little blurb that was written back in 1945 from prison on stupidity. The gentleman who did this is Derek Bofheimer, I don't know how to pronounce it in German, but he was one of Hitler's top people who actually arranged for the economic growth that the Third Reich had. And of course, they got around to where they threw him in jail too, and then executed him. But while he was in jail, he actually had a lot of letters that he published out, and some of them were very enlightening about the times that we're dealing with. And I just want y'all to read that because it has a lot to do with what we're doing right now. We're seeing it right now with this Nancy Pelosi and these idiots in Washington and stuff. He says stupidity is a more dangerous enemy than a good malice person. In other words, stupidity is actually more dangerous than, let's say, an evil mass murderer kind of person. Because you can protest against one, and then you can actually do something about it. You can actually, if you've got somebody out there who's a menace to society, you can actually go out there and arrest them, put them in jail, things like that. But how do you arrest a stupid person? That's the question. We're up against the Democrats who become stupid. And they have no logic. They're just totally out of control because what this article talks about, or these letters that he written, he's talking about, you're up against these fascists, i.e. Antifa, i.e. Democratic Party, i.e. whoever else you want to put in that name, the left people, that you sit there and you try to have an argument with them about facts. And you come up with real historical facts as we have on our side. And they just look at you and say, we don't care. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. In other words, that's a stupid person. An evil person, you can fight an evil person, but a stupid person is just, we don't care. We're going to go by our own rules. And that's what we're seeing in the Virginia legislature as well as in Washington, D.C. This is real stuff. So it's just an interesting article, a perspective of a man who once ran basically the miracle of the Third Reich's economic progress. Of course, it didn't, go out very well. But like I said, they got him in the end too. They had to shoot him too. But his letters are very open about stupid people, the same kind of people we're dealing with now. They don't listen to any sense, and if you sit there with facts, they just ignore them. They just say they don't exist. They make up their own rules. So go and read that, and also see the video, a 35-minute video of Brian talking about the Second Amendment situation here in Virginia. Now, let's switch for a second. I want all my 100 friends out there who are watching this, and all of you folks, I love every one of you. I'm just amazed at how much energy there is out there. But what I want to explain to you from someone who was with the Tea Party for a while, we have to keep the enthusiasm up, but there's more to be done. And that's the point. Yes, we've now got the attention of the counties. Yes, we've got the attention of the governor and everybody else, but now we have to follow through. And that's what Lobby Day is all about this year. Lobby Day will see the people coming together at the General Assembly peacefully, showing how they are supporting this movement. It's going to be a big thing, huge thing. And there are going to be a lot of people on the side who are going to try to distract you from that. The press will be out there trying to, trust me, there's nobody in the press. I don't care if they're your cousin or your sister, your brother, your daddy, your mama. There's nobody in the press who will write a truthful story about what will happen for Lobby Day in Virginia this year on January 20th. So keep in mind that there will be people out there trying to discredit what we're doing. There's nothing we can do about that. Just let them keep on doing what they're doing. And also, keep your eye focused on one thing. We cannot go out there and use this as, let's just say, a cause celeb or whatever you want to feel like you're doing. This is about the Second Amendment in Virginia. That's what this is about. So if you want to go up there and protest, as you all know, I'm a very big protester against things taking down the monuments and these type of things, and that's all real and good, but this is not the time for that. What this time is for is to come together to show the governor and his minions of satanic, demonic favor, the Democratic Party in Virginia, to show them that we're serious about this and we're not going to allow you to keep passing laws, which brings me back to another point. We can defeat these people legally in the Senate of the state of Virginia. That is what we need to focus on. We can actually flip a few of these Democratic senators to vote no on all the gun stuff, all the other stuff we have a problem with. And we can keep them at bay until the next election, 2 years from now. Then we'll change it back and we'll wipe every Democrat off the face of the earth in Virginia. There won't be any. And you Rhino Republicans, you're going as well, too. So this is a movement that can actually change for the positive this state. But we have to focus that there's more to it than just showing up at the county commissioner, is my point. Not only showing up at the General Assembly, but educating yourself about what we're really dealing with here and being involved, being an involved citizen. There are many of you who, I can't believe it, but there are many of you who've never voted. Because you say, I don't like politics. Well, I don't like politics either. I'm involved in politics. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever been involved in. But it's what we have to do to govern ourselves. That's what free people do to govern ourselves. There's always going to be bad people in office. I don't care what party, I don't care who, they're bad people. Our job as citizens is to not elect them again, to get them unelected. And that's what we need to do. And this movement is very big, and of course, the whole country's watching this. The governor is doing something illegal. All these threats he's doing are just threats. Mr. Coonman he's flailing out there. He's a flailer. He's just out of his mind. I think mentally he's unstable. I think he could be put into a mental hospital pretty quickly if a doctor showed up. Anyway, this fight that we have to keep focused on the Second Amendment of the Constitution of the state of Virginia. We have our own Bill of Rights here in the state of Virginia. In our Constitution, it does say that they cannot take the guns away from the populace. You cannot outlaw these guns. And that's the basis of everything we have to fight with is already in our Constitution of Virginia. So that's what I want to kind of put your mind to looking at. This is a fight of Virginians within Virginians. We're not fighting the federal government. We're fighting Virginia. And these legislatures are out of control, and we could change them. In fact, there is a recall going on with one of the criminals up there, Dick Sashlaw, Senator Sashlaw of Halifax. As we speak, he is having petitions out there that they're going to recall this guy. The Libertarian Party of Virginia is out there doing petition drives. So if you're a Halifax County voter, sign one of these to recall this mad senator. He's an insane man, and we need to recall him, and that's going to change a lot of things here, folks. There's more to what we're doing. There's also a compact of counties that we can come together with later on that gives us more power. But the big thing is to keep focused on what we're fighting for. We're fighting for our Second Amendment rights in the state of Virginia as Virginians under our own Constitution, the Virginia Constitution. So this is not a federal fight, this is a state fight. Keep that in mind. And also, keep educating yourselves. A lot of you, this is all new to you. You've never heard this kind of stuff. Welcome to the fight. It's called being an American citizen. And being an informed American citizen is the most dangerous thing in the world. That's what we're seeing right now. All these people who are coming out to these county commissioner votes, they have now been informed. And so they're coming out and showing that hey, we don't want this. And their delegates, the county commissioners are accepting this because they see the real passion that's out there. That passion is what we Americans are all about. But you've got to keep that passion, not continuously, but you have to be an informed citizen. And a lot of you just are not informed. You just don't, because that's just not something you care about. And that's okay, I understand that. But you need to keep a group of you together that always is watching out, because they will steal our rights at any given second. Not only this general legislature, but the next one after that. We have to be informed citizens to stop the usurpation of our rights. And that's what we're going through right now. So welcome to the fight. I'm referring to what we're seeing now in Virginia as when Cornwallis sent his minions into the Appalachian Mountains back in 1780. He put up all these little posters all around these little communities, little town, trading stations all over through the Appalachians. And he said, hey, you people are disloyal subjects to the British Crown. You're with that George Washington fellow. We're not going to put up with it. In fact, if you people do not submit yourselves to us, the British, we are going to come and burn your farms. We're going to burn your houses. We're going to kill your livestock. This is all historical truth. Well, the reaction at that time were what they call the over mountain men. Those are the fellows who said, who's this Cornwallis fella, and where can I find him? Because I'm going to straighten this out. He ain't going to take my guns. He ain't going to burn my farm. He ain't going to do this. I'm not a subject to him. I'm an American citizen. Even this was before America was even formed. We're fighting the revolution. This is 1780. And what Cornwallis did was he put a Führer in what is now known as the over mountain men. The people who were over the Appalachians there who were really not part of Virginia or North Carolina, South Carolina, etc., or Georgia. But they were in the wilderness, so to speak, which at that time was Kentucky, Ohio, and Missouri, and things like that. So these good old boys, got together with their guns, and they showed up in a place called Kings Mountain, North Carolina, because they were told that Cornwallis's buddy was upstairs. He was up in the mountains there. His name was Ferguson. He was a loyalist, and he was the guy who was going to come around and burn their farms. So they, at the bottom of the mountain, they formed, and they all just at one time went up there. Mr. Ferguson Colonel Ferguson is still up there. They shot him dead, and they buried him up there. He is still there. They just killed them all, and this is why Cornwallis, and there were other battles that these men participated in. That's why Cornwallis eventually came up to through Virginia to get to Yorktown. I mean, I won't go into too much of Revolutionary history, but this is irrelevant to us now. The point is, I see that these country folks, which I love all of you country folks. I love you so much, you don't know how much I love you. You are now coming out of the woods, so to speak, and you're showing up and saying, who's threatening my rights? Who's going to tell me I can't teach my children how to deer hunt? Who's going to take my guns? Those are good questions to ask. And that's exactly what the over mountain men did 250 years ago. And the effect was, we are Americans now. That's why we won the Revolutionary War. Trust me, the Revolutionary War was won in the South. Nothing against George. Of course, he was a Virginian. But it was not won up in Massachusetts and Concord and and all that nonsense up there. The Yankees up there lost. But when they came to mess with the Southerners, we won it. Anyway, well, that's another section. I can go into that detail if everybody wants to say that I'm full of it, saying what I just said. But anyway, I'm always full of it. I can defend that. But the point is that we have to keep the passion going and keep realizing that there's more goals that we've got to achieve to keep these people back on their heels, and we have to defeat them. And we're going to do it at the ballot box, and we're going to do it in the general legislature this year. That's what Lobby Day is all about. So keep your powder dry and visit with me next Thursday. I don't know what the topic will be because it changes from time to time, but I appreciate y'all looking in and I look forward to your comments. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.